How can you survive a rental property vacancy without losing everything you've got? That's what we're going to talk about in the video today. One of the greatest requirements for long-term real estate investing success is being able to survive in the long run. There are a lot of things that can go wrong in real estate investing. And in order for you to experience long-term success, one of the questions that you've got to answer, that you've got to deal with, is how can you survive a long period of vacancy? One of the most important things that you're going to do is get the right tenants in your property. If you get the wrong tenants in your property, it will be a nightmare. So one of the most important things that you're going to do as a real estate investor is get the best tenants in your property, and sometimes that takes time. Uh, and one of the questions that a lot of real estate investors have that causes fear is, what happens if my rental unit stays empty for a long period of time while I'm trying to get a good tenant, a qualified tenant? And I want to talk to you about several ways to protect yourself. I want to talk to you about several ways to protect yourself so that you can invest in real estate, specifically in residential real estate, for a long period of time. I've been doing this 23 years. At the time of this recording, it's December of 2025, and real estate is still a good investment. Uh, Number one, if you're a beginner especially, you need to only purchase a property that you can afford to allow that property to sit vacant if you can't pay the bills. So you're going to need a stable and a secure financial situation. So let me say this again. My recommendation is that you buy a property that you can afford to allow to sit completely empty. Not that you're going to, and not that you're going to have to, but if you buy a property that you can allow to sit empty while you're getting a great tenant and getting that property ready, that's going to help you have peace of mind so you don't have to rush to get a bad tenant. So let me ask you a few questions that you need to ask yourself. Number one, is my job reasonably secure? I understand nothing's guaranteed, but do you have a great job? Are you making good money? Does it look like your job is going to be there for you for the next 5 years, 3 years, 10 years? Do you have a strong and stable income? Something that keeps you. Do you have a job that gives you an income where you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to be able to afford to survive? Uh, this is very important. Does your current income give you the ability to take care of all of your personal expenses, and in addition, carry all of the expenses on the property that you're buying? This may seem prohibitive, but it's not. Or let me say this, if it is prohibitive, then you need to take some other measures perhaps before you begin investing in real estate. Specifically, these are what you need to think about. You need to have an income that would be sufficient to cover the mortgage on the rental property, the taxes on the rental property, the insurance, utilities, maintenance, whatever you've got to spend on that property without a tenant. You need to be able to carry those costs while it's empty so that you do not have to rush and take a chance on getting the wrong tenant, because the wrong tenants will destroy you. Now, you should not expect to have long-term vacancies, but sometimes it can take time. And what I want you to be able to do is invest for the long run with peace of mind. Uh, and if I can help you develop a plan that will take you through a worst case scenario. If you can survive a worst case scenario, then you're going to be able to invest for the long run. Number one, you need to have a great stable income. Number two, you need to have adequate cash reserves. Cash is the lifeblood of any business. And you need to position yourself, if you can at all, to have 6 months of cash set aside so that if the world stopped turning and you lost your job and everything fell apart, you'd have 6 months where you wouldn't have to worry about it. That sounds a lot. Listen, this is a foundation. This is a foundation. If you will start with a great foundation, you will be able to build a real estate portfolio uh, that will weather the storm. So let's get it started right so that you can be successful forever. Uh, and so if it would be great if you could set aside or build up 6 months of cash to cover everything that you need to survive for 6 months. Do not let that stop you. If you don't have that, if you can't do it right now, begin working toward that. Cash reserves don't make problems disappear, but they will buy you time, and time will give you options. Number three, you need to maintain access to immediate credit. This is real important. You need to have some places you can go and get immediate credit. Now, credit's got to be used wisely, but it's not a problem to have some credit cards set aside so that if you get in a situation where you need money and you need money now, you need to have some credit available. Not that you don't want to ever have to use it, but it's good if you've got it available. If you've got $30,000 worth of credit available on credit cards, that's great. If you never have to use it, that's better. But it's good to have that available. Number two, lines of credit, business lines of credit, personal lines of credit. You need to have access to money if you get in a bad situation. So credit cards will work, lines of credit will work. Another thing that's good to have is if you've got an ace in the hole. I call it an ace in the hole. You've got a mom, a dad, grandparents, you've got a business associate, a close friend, an aunt, an uncle, a banker that you've done business with for a long time, somebody that would come to your rescue if you got in a bad situation without taking advantage of you. So if you've got an ace in the hole, if you can have an ace in the hole, if you can have, somebody might call it, in some industry they might call it a second baseman, somebody that's going to come to your rescue if you get in a jam. So these are a few things that will help you invest for the long run. And let me say this, real estate doesn't have to be stressful. Real estate doesn't have to be stressful. Or let me say this, it can at least be mitigated. You can reduce the amount of stress by setting up the right plan for investing in the long run. So when you buy conservatively, when you keep cash reserves on hand, and when you maintain access to credit, you're no longer operating from fear, but you're operating from strength and preparation. And please don't miss this. These reserves that I'm talking to you about setting up, in all likelihood, if you put together a fantastic plan for long-term real estate investing, you're not going to need these cash reserves. And that money is going to stack up, it's going to accumulate, and this thing is going to snowball in a fantastic way if you set it up right. You start with a great foundation, you put a good plan into place, And I'm telling you, wealth accumulation through real estate is a fantastic opportunity. It's still good in 2025, and it's going to be good, Lord willing, in 2026. So, my name is Lynn. This is Faith, Discipline, and Freedom. And if you have any questions or any comments, leave them below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you, and if I can help you in any way, I would love to. God bless. Have a wonderful day, and I hope I hope great success for you in the coming years. God bless.